live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome to the 9 p.m. news of the most prestigious channel in Sri Lanka, bringing you stories from across the globe and stories here at home. I am Sonal Parnavithana.
And I'm Sutamija Ratna. Let's take a look at today's headlines.
New Archaeological Museum and the International Archaeological Research Institute of Somavati Sacred Area inaugurated. 731 new permanent appointments to the Postal Department. New houses provided to a large number of low-income recipients island-wide. 3 females die in the Gampula accident. The driver of the ill-fated vehicle, a female with a learner's license. Information regarding 6 others revealed during interrogation of a suspected drug peddler. 3 scientists share this year's Nobel Prize for Medicine. The police conducts a special investigation on the disappearance of 32 pigeons from the Dehiwala Zoological Gardens.
And in your local developments for tonight, today is the VAP Full Moon Poya Day, which records many important events in the history of the Buddha Sasana.
The offering of Katina robe commenced with the VAP Full Moon Poya Day.
The history of Buddha Sasana mentioned that Buddha visited Tautisa heaven and preached Abhidhamma to his mother and arrived at Sankassapura in Dambadiva on a day like today. Another significant incident that occurred today is bringing of a branch of Jayasri Mahabodhi from India. The passing away of Aharat Mahinda preaching of Vinaya Pitakaya at Thuparamaya by the Aharat Aritta are other important historic events that are connected with the VAP Full Moon Poya Day. The Buddhist monks ended observation of Vas on VAP Full Moon Poya Day. Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation telecasts live Saddharma Varsha Poya Day religious programs throughout today from Agrabodhi Sarvarna Bimbaramaya Viharaya at Atharagalla in Manikinna, Kandy. Observing of 8 precepts, Buddha Puja, Dharma sermons, Dharma discussions and other programs including community welfare activities were also included. All the programs were organized under the guidance of Chief Incumbent Venerable Atharagalle Dharmalankara Thera. Large crowds were gathering to Sri Dalada Maligava premises in Kandy for religious observances since this morning. Large number of devotees has observed Sil before the Jayasri Mahabodhi premises in Anuradhapura. Devotees in large number also arrived at the Anuradhapura sacred city. Our correspondent said that many religious programs have been organized at the Ruanveli Saya sacred premises in Kandy since this morning.
Meanwhile, the Arthur C. Clarke Institute for Modern Technologies says that a supermoon is lighting up the sky on VAP Poya Day today. Research scientist of the institute, Theekshana Priyadasa, says it appears approximately 7% larger than a typical full moon. The Arthur C. Clarke Center says supermoons occur several times a year when the moon moves closer to Earth along its elliptical orbit. Additionally, sky watchers may have a rare chance to observe Saturn positioned near the bright full moon tonight.
The newly constructed 2-story building housing the Archaeological Museum and the International Archaeological Research Institute at the historic Somavati Sacred Area in Polonnaruwa was declared open today under the patronage of President Anura Kumara Dissanayake. President Anura Kumara Dissanayake, who visited the historic Somavati sacred site this morning, engaged in religious observances before the Somavati Chaitaraja and received blessings. The President inquired regarding the well-being of the chief incumbent of the historic Somawati Raja Mahavihara and Registrar of the Mahavihara Vansika Shyamopali Mahanikaya of the Malwatha chapter, the Most Venerable Dr. Pahamune Sri Sumangala Nayaka Thera. The President then unveiled the commemorative plaque and declared open the newly constructed two-story building housing the Archaeological Museum and the International Archaeological Research Institute. The President also made the first floral offering to the Buddha statue and the sacred relic casket enshrined within the premises. The project was fully funded through the generous financial contribution of Deshamanya Mitrapala Lankeshwara, chairman of the Ratna Group, to facilitate the convenience of devotees from around the world who visit the historic Somawati Chaitaraja in Polonnaruwa, where the sacred right-tooth relic of Lord Buddha is enshrined, as well as engaged in educational and research activities. Registrar of the Malwatha chapter, Venerable Dr. Pahamune Sumangala Thera, said that the wish has been fulfilled to get all these buildings to be inaugurated by a person of the caliber of President Anura Kumara Disanayaka. The Mahasangha joins in blessing to develop this country within a united Sri Lanka by getting rid of the difficulties faced at present.
මේ රට ඇති වෙලා තියෙන විපත්ති කරදර මුදවාගෙන ඒකීය ශ්‍රී ලංකාද්වීපයත් තුළ සකල ලාංකික ජනතාවටම අසීමිත ශාන්තියක් සිද්ධ වේවා කියලා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරමින් විශේෂයෙන්ම අපේ අවධානය යොමු වෙලා
Minister Dr. Hiniduna Sunil Senavi said that the government has paid attention to create alternative tourist destinations. The attention paid to the Polonnaruwa sacred city should also be directed towards Somawatiya, Watadagaya, Medirigiriya and Rittikala. New research work is being conducted at present regarding Rittikala. The renovation of Rittikala Bandapokuna has been initiated by now and is expected to be completed within the next 2 to 3 years. When completed, it will be the largest pond in the country. Alternative destinations have to be planned, which should be included in an overall plan, he added. The Mahasangha, ministers, parliamentarians and several others were present on this occasion.
Meanwhile, Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa today awarded permanent appointments to 731 persons selected as postal assistants to the Postal Department. The recruitment of permanent postal assistants to the Postal Department in this country was stalled after 2021. As such, by the end of the year, there has been 1,982 vacancies for postal assistants in the department. The activities of the Postal Department was in a crisis due to a large number of vacancies, and as a solution, the Cabinet has approved in accordance with a request made by the Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa to recruit 1,000 persons out of these vacancies. Accordingly, 731 persons have been selected for recruitments, who were registered as substitute employees of the Postal Department and had completed required qualifications for the same. They have been included in the Grade 3 primary category of non-skilled employees. Secretary to the Ministry of Health and Mass Media, Consultant Dr. Aneja Singha, along with a number of other officials, were present during the occasion of awarding the appointment letters. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that the Postal Department should no longer be a burden to the Treasury. Before the pay rise, the income stood at 1.4 billion rupees, while the expenditure was 1.8 billion rupees. There has been a loss of around 4 billion rupees, and with the pay rise, the income expenditure gap will be increased to 7 or 8 billion rupees. The salary increase, recruitments and the purchase of equipments and vehicles has been conducted at a time of extra burden to the Treasury has been done with the objective of providing an efficient service to the public by winning their trust and also to raise their income to the Treasury. In case the Postal Department is no longer a profit-earning entity, there is the challenge of maintaining it while spending the money for the Treasury.
A road accident occurred near the Doluwa temple this evening along the Gampala Kandy Road via Narambita, killing 3 persons. Another 2 were injured and admitted to the Gampala Teaching Hospital. A motor car running from Gampala town to Gurukale area has knocked down a group of women in front of the Doluwa temple. The deceased have been identified as two 67-year-old women and another 70-year-old woman. They are residents of Megoda, Kalugamuwa and Navakurukale area in Doluwa in Gurukale in Gampula. The driver of the motor car is a woman with a trainee driving license. Her husband and two children were also in the car and none of them was injured in the accident. The cause of the accident is driver could not control the speeding vehicle. And today we have a very special delegation here at the studios of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. Now, in the broadcasting industry, we have numerous organizations and certainly individuals who are trying to make broadcasting better day by day. Now, in today, we have a delegation from the Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting Development, and we will be talking about the rapid developments in the broadcasting industry and also the new concepts and innovation and how we as Sri Lankans can inculcate those concepts here and certainly worldwide as well. So we do have with us the CEO of the AIBD, or the Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting Development, Ms. Philomena Jnanaprakasam, the CEO, and also Leon Dinesh Loganathan, who is a legal advisor at the AIBD. A very good evening to both of you.
Thank you, Sonal and Situ. Great to be here as well.
Wonderful. Now, I'll direct my first question to Philomena. Philomena, now in a Sri Lankan context, what is AIBD in a global sense and also in a local Sri Lankan context? What is AIBD and the role that they play in the global broadcasting industry?
So AIBD is the Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting Development. And the word broadcasting is a very big thing right now, because broadcasting is not just radio and television, but we are also looking at various multimedia platforms, social media. And so it has become a huge thing when you talk about broadcasting. And so AIBD's main mandate is to bring awareness on the power of media to the rest of the world. And so Asia Pacific Broadcasting, but we also have members from France and members from Africa, from the Middle East, and we're an intergovernmental international body. So it's a huge entity and dedicated towards improving media globally. So that's in a nutshell what AIBD is. And the main core business, of course, is training, capacity building, and of course conference. Every year we host at least 2 conferences, and we've just finished one in Cambodia, in Siem Reap, and in Phuket, Thailand. Yes, thank you.
All right. Philomena, that was a comprehensive answer. I think viewers got an idea. Now, Leon, you have been in the legality of the AIBD and associating yourself with it. Can you explain to us the Sri Lanka's involvement in this specific domain, which is broadcasting, the AIBD's involvement?
All right, that's a really very good question, and I think over the last 1 year or so, we've seen a very heavy involvement of Sri Lanka in AIBD throughout the Asia Pacific region. Sri Lanka really wants to put itself out there, and they're taking all the necessary steps. As early as July this year, Honorable Minister Dr. Nalinda had actually partaken in the Asia Media Summit and signed a declaration to fight and combat fake news in the region, together with other ministers and high officials and delegates in the Asia Pacific region, as well as the steadfast commitment of Sri Lanka to attend all conferences, general conferences which are held in the Asia Pacific region to combat fake news, as well as to promote and upgrade and upskill the all necessary aspects of the media sector for Sri Lanka. So in that question itself, I think Sri Lanka is taking all the right steps moving forward in developing their media sector.
All right. Also, Philomena, can you explain to us the main objective behind your visit today here in Sri Lanka? And we are pleased to have you here with us in the studios as well.
Yeah.
The main objective of your visit, and also what's the way forward looking like, certainly in the broadcasting domain, and also in a global context, the Sri Lankan region, and also what are our plans in the region?
Okay, so if you're looking at my visit today, today marks my fourth visit to Sri Lanka. We have a beautiful country, and most countries have undergone, the real catastrophe of COVID-19. But for me, looking at the last visit was in 2018 when we hosted a general conference right here in Colombo, and now coming back again to see the country, meet the people, and to see the dynamic Minister of Media and also Health, Dr. Nalinda, and the Chairman of SLRC, Mr. Gihan. I'm really happy and enlightened because that's my job, meeting all the ministers, the CEOs, the top level people, and discuss how we can actually invigorate the media industry. So basically it's a courtesy call, and like Leon mentioned, a spin-off from the Angkor initiative. So if you look at the Angkor initiative, it aims to actually really look at disinformation and how we can combat disinformation. And I think as people who are in any country, fake news or disinformation, to put it more appropriately, is a rising issue. And this is something that AIBD is doing. We are working to actually help curb this, to create ethical journalism. And I think, Leon, you would also agree with me on ethical journalism. I'd just like to ask him more about ethical journalism and Angkor initiative. Perhaps you can explain a little bit on that, Leon.
Yes, so I think what is the most important thing right now, it's like with all of these deep fakes, AI intervention into news and all of that, we've been running back-to-back courses and workshops, actually training journalists not only to just report, to be the fastest one to report, but also to be ethical while you're reporting. How do you fact check? How do you get information sorted out? What are the guidelines and SOPs involved before the news is being published? It's easy to be the first, but it's hard to be the right one. So that is what AIBD has been working tirelessly on, together with its member countries and together with Sri Lanka as well. So I hope that answers your question, madam.
Yes, that certainly answers all of the questions. Disinformation certainly is a big problem, not only in a local context, but also in the global context, where a lot of news is being passed over, and certainly there should be responsibility behind that. So, thank you so very much, Philomena and Leon, for joining us this evening to this discussion. It has been wonderful and a pleasure. Thank you so much for being in the studios.
And thank you to all of you here in Sri Lanka.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right, we move on with more local stories for tonight. A number of programs to hand over houses constructed for low-income earners selected from throughout the island was held today on a provincial basis. All these houses have been constructed parallel to the World Habitat Day. The government has implemented this program under the theme One's Own House, Beautiful Life. 1,000 houses was constructed throughout the island under the House for All National program to provide permanent houses for slum dwellers was inaugurated by President Anura Kumara Dissanayake yesterday. Parallel this 1,000 houses project, 2 completed housing units being constructed in the Maharagama Divisional Secretariat Division was handed over to the concerned families by Deputy Minister Attorney at Law Sunil Wattakala. Meanwhile, housing units have been constructed for 67 low-income earning families in the Mathura district, and those houses were dedicated to the public from Athuraliya, Namurukanda village, Akurasa yesterday. The houses, constructed at a cost of 1 million rupees each under the National Housing Development Authority, was attended by Parliamentarian Lal Premnath along with a number of other officials. Another 6 completed housing units were handed over to the recipients at the Hokandara, Mahadeniya, Dehiwala and Malambe North Grama Niladari divisions with the participation of Parliamentarian Asitha Niroshana. 3 housing units constructed under the theme One's Own House, Beautiful Life were handed over to the concerned families at Kolonna area. Chairman of Kolonna Pradeshia Sabha, Sampath Gunasinghe, along with a large number of others, attended this occasion. A house constructed parallel to the World Habitat Day at Upper Woganbatta in Mathugama Divisional Secretariat Division was handed over to the concerned family yesterday. Parliamentarian Sanjeev Ranasinghe was present at this occasion. New housing units have been constructed for selected 122 low-income earning families in the Polonnaruwa district, and under this project, the housing unit constructed at Kumaragama village, Hinguragoda, was handed over to the family by Parliamentarian Padmasiri Bandara. Umpire Office of the National Housing Development Authority yesterday conducted the handing over of cheques to the tune of 1 million rupees each for a recipient to construct houses for 25 low-income earning families in the Ampara district. Deputy Minister Vasantha Pietissa and a group of others attended this occasion. In addition, presentation of 75 permanent deeds and dedication of 61 completed houses to the people of the district was also held.
Meanwhile, today is the last day of the International Book Fair in Colombo, and visitors had the opportunity to purchase books and stationery at a special concessionary price today as well. The book exhibition, which was organized this year for the 27th occasion, was held for 10 days. Today marks its conclusion and millions of people have visited the event. The dubbing studio of the national television at the exhibition premises was highly attractive for the public today as well. The national television, as well the official electronic media sponsor, achieved its service for the past 10 days successfully. This is the official conclusion of its service.
The administration of the Dehiwala National Zoological Garden says that 32 pigeons have been stolen from the zoo. Dehiwala police conducts further investigations into the incident. These pigeons have been housed at the Dehiwala Zoo under court orders, having been presented as evidence in various legal cases. Soon after the theft, the administration of the Zoological Gardens has lodged a complaint at the Dehiwala police station. Deputy Director of the zoo, Hemantha Samarasekara, said that the officer in charge of the section where the pigeons were kept has been suspended temporarily. A few local news items in brief now. 7 suspects have been taken into custody along with 5 kilograms and 6 grams of hash and a stock of ice narcotics. A suspect was taken into custody along with the hash and a stock of ice narcotics at Harumalgoda, Habaraduwa. According to police, on information revealed during interrogation, another 6 suspects have been taken into custody along with the stock of narcotics from Koggala, Baddikam and Medigam areas. A person along with the cache of hashish narcotic valued at more than 10 million rupees has been taken into custody at Hirana. 32-year-old suspect had received a rented house from Hirana to Mount Lavinia before 2 months, according to reports. Police have been able to recover a 9mm firearm, a T-56 firearm along with cartridges abandoned at the Kalani Valley railway line on the base line, Tematagoda. It has been revealed by the suspect during interrogation that these firearms were hidden to assassinate a person based on a conflict between 2 organized crime gangs at Wanathamulla area, Borella. Harold Reginald Fernando, retired administrative officer of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, has passed away. The final rites of the deceased, a resident of the Ranasinghe Road, Jayala, was conducted at 4 p.m. in the afternoon today at the Vavala Public Catholic Cemetery.
Meanwhile, Intermedical Faculty's Pediatric Quiz Competition organized by the Consultant Pediatric Institute was held today at the Sri Lanka Foundation Institute in Colombo.
Quiz competition was held under the guidance of Chairman of the Pediatric Institute, Professor Pujitha Wickramasinghe. Competitors from 11 medical faculties in Sri Lanka vie for the competition. After a sharp competition, Colombo University became the champions. Sri Jayawardhanapura University and Sabaragamuwa University became the first and second runners-up respectively.
And now let us focus attention on several development projects implemented parallel to the Clean Sri Lanka program. 7 small-scale beach parks will be established in Puttalam district. This will be implemented by Department of Coast Conservation, and foundation for the first small beach park was conducted at the Church of the Cross Maravilla in Puttalam district by Clean Sri Lanka program under the leadership of the Deputy Minister of Environment Anton Jayakudi. The objective of the establishment of this beach park is to establish a special environmental zone where people can enjoy mental happiness and relax. 3 tourist development projects were commenced yesterday at Haldumulla area under the Clean Sri Lanka program by the Governor of Uva Province Kapila Jayasekara. Improvement of tourist facilities around Dialuma Falls and Bambarakanda Falls and the development of the approach road to Bambarakanda Falls and Ohia by carpeting was also implemented under this project. A sum of more than 100 million rupees has been allocated for these projects. A program to clean all bus stands situated in the Kotagala municipal limit on the Hatton-Nuwara main road commenced recently, parallel to the Clean Sri Lanka program. A program to remove garbage on both sides of the road from commercial area, Talwakele Police Division was also conducted. Many religious programs had been organized prior to the Vap Full Moon Poya Day in various places in the island. The newly renovated Vipassi Buddhist Center at the Colombo National Hospital premises was declared open recently under the patronage of Minister Dr. Nalinda Jatissa. This Buddhist center had been initiated under the guidance of late Mahanayaka of Amarapura Sangha Sabha, Most Venerable Madi Panyasiha Thera. A stock of medical equipment worth 20 million rupees was also donated to the hospital. The Buddhist center has been renovated under the funds allocated by the Ministry of Health and National Hospital staff. New Buddha statue constructed at the Taldiyavala Sri Nandanarama ancient temple in Aturugiri was unveiled recently. Statues of Saryut and Mughal and Arhat Theras have been also erected in the temple premises. The statues were unveiled by the Anunayaka of the Sri Lanka Ramanya Nikaya, Venerable Dr. Balebada Gunasiri Thera. An overnight Pirit chanting ceremony was held at the Presbyterian National School in Dehiwala recently to mark its 117th national anniversary under the guidance of principal of the school, Tamara Kumarihami. A Pindapata Charika organized by the old students of the Suganasara Dhamma School in the Kande Vihare Gotatua. A Pirit chanting ceremony was also held at the Gotatua town. The annual blood and cornea donation program organized by the Rashmiya Foundation was held at the Subodha Ayurveda Center at the Mayuramavata in Televala, Ratmalana recently. This has been organized in line with the Vap Full Moon Poya Day. A replica of the historic Anukhana Buddha statue that has been erected at the Megahavatta Sri Sudarshanarama in Paliyagoda was unveiled today. Chief Incumbent of the Vihare, Venerable Dhampiti Sumanathera and Venerable Balavinne Sivalitera and large number of devotees were present at this occasion.
Uva Navodaya Cultural Arts Festival was successfully held for 7 days. On the final day yesterday, a kolam drama was also presented at night. The function was held at the Uva Province Library Auditorium. It was jointly organized by the Uva Provincial Council, Clean Sri Lanka Secretariat, Badulla Municipal Council and other government institutions along with the several civil organizations. Former Chancellor of University of Visual and Performing Arts, Professor Aryaratna Kaluarachi was also present during the kolam drama presentation last night. We'll be back with more foreign news after a short break.
The Nobel Prize in Medicine has been conferred to 3 scientists, Mary Branco, Fred Ramsdale and Shimon Sakaguchi, for their work on the functioning of the human immune system. The award announced by Sweden's Karolinska Institute today will be presented to the trio in December for their groundbreaking discoveries concerning peripheral immune tolerance that prevents the immune system from harming the body. Rheumatology professor at the Karolinska Institute, Mari Warren Hellenius, said that the research will lead to how to keep the immune system under control, supporting to fight all imaginable microbes and still avoid autoimmune disease. The prize of $1.17 million is to be shared equally between Brankov and Ramsdale, both 64 of the United States, and Japan's Sakaguchi, 74 years. Their work dates back to 1995 when Sakaguchi made the initial key discovery. Brankov and Ramsdale made another breakthrough in 2001 before Sakaguchi linked all of their work 2 years later. The King of Sweden will also present them with gold awards.
The mice were protected. Sakaguchi jointly to Mary Branco, Fred Ramsdale.
And moving on to sports news, the match between New Zealand and South Africa in the Women's World Cup One-Day International Cricket Tournament is now in progress at the Indo Cricket Stadium in India.
South Africa, chasing a target of 232 runs, were 185 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in 31 overs when last reports came in. Meanwhile, India posted an 88-run victory against Pakistan yesterday, and the match was played at the R. Premdasa International Cricket Stadium in Colombo. After winning the toss, Pakistan decided to field first. Accordingly, batting first, India scored 247 runs in their 50 overs. Harin Diol scored 46 runs while Richa Ghosh scored 35 runs. In bowling, Diana Baig of Pakistan captured 4 wickets. Pakistan, chasing a victory target of 248 runs, were able to score 159 runs all out in 43 overs. Sidra Amin scored 81 runs and Natalia Parvez scored 33 runs. In bowling for India, Kranti Grod and Deepti Sharma shared 3 wickets each. And that's all the news we have for you tonight. Join us same time, same place tomorrow as well. It's me, Sunal, alongside Sithumi, signing off. Have a very good night.
அதிர்ஷ்டம் என்பது எந்நேரத்திலும் உங்களை தேடி வரலாம். நீங்கள் தேடுகின்ற அந்த அதிர்ஷ்ட நேரம் இதுவாக கூட இருக்கலாம். இன்றைய தினம் 2025 அக்டோபர் 6ஆம் தேதி இன்றைய டிஎல்பியின் லாட்டரி ஷோ வாயிலாக உங்களை சந்திக்கின்றோம். இன்றைய தினத்தில் நீங்கள் வெல்ல போகும் சூப்பர் பண பரிசு பற்றிய விவரத்தினை இப்போது சுருக்கமாக திரையில் பார்க்கலாம். அந்த வகையில் இலங்கை லொத்தர் வரலாற்றில் இதுவரை யாரும் வென்றிராத அதிகூடிய பிரம்மாண்டமான சூப்பர் பண பரிசுடன் வலம் வந்து கொண்டிருக்கும் கப்ருக்க சிற்றிழப்பின் இன்றைய ஜாக்பாட் 59 கோடியே 82 லட்சத்து 66,641 ரூபாய். இதற்கு மேலதிகமாக 2 சந்தர்ப்பங்களில் நீங்கள் 1 கோடி ரூபாய் பண பரிசினை வெல்ல முடியும். அந்த வகையில் இன்றைய கப்ருக்க சிற்றிழப்பின் சூப்பர் பண பரிசுக்காக மாத்திரம் அபிவிருத்தி லொத்தர் சபை 61 கோடிக்கும் அதிகமான பணத்தொகையை ஒதுக்கீடு செய்துள்ளது. அதேபோல் இன்றைய சூப்பர் பால் சிற்றிழப்பினூடாக நீங்கள் வெல்ல போகும் சூப்பர் பண பரிசு 6 கோடியே 49 லட்சத்து 86,321 ரூபாய். அதேபோல் இன்றைய சனிதா சிற்றிழப்பின் மூலம் நீங்கள் வெல்ல போகும் சூப்பர் பண பரிசு 5 கோடியே 98 லட்சத்து 21,942 ரூபாய். அதேபோல் அதர் கோட்டிபதி சிற்றிழப்பின் வாயிலாக நீங்கள் வெல்ல போகும் ஜாக்பாட் 5 கோடியே 79 லட்சத்து 79,168 ரூபாய். ஜயோதா சிற்றிழப்பின் மூலமாக இன்றைய நாளில் உங்களுக்காக காத்திருக்கும் சூப்பர் பண பரிசு 3 கோடியே 19 லட்சத்து 94,338 ரூபாய். அதேபோல் இன்றைய சுப்பிரி தன சம்பத் சிற்றிழப்பின் மூலமாக நீங்கள் 2 கோடி 57 லட்சத்து 53,670 ரூபாய்